Gonna get us a copyright strike before we even start. No, I'm just fucking with you. How's it going, everybody? Welcome to the Liberty Bowl. It is, of course, a live stream Friday. Of course, every Friday we come together here. We talk about the news, the latest happening within the fall of Western civilization as we know it, or perhaps the revitalization of Western civilization as we know it. We'll be talking about all of that tonight. Of course, this was a bit of a doozy this week, of course, right the very next day after our live stream last Friday. Some major events taking place, some major world changing events in human history taking place as someone took some shots at the king, and they missed, of course, but yeah. uh with me as always is my co-host here, Liberty Swine. How you doing this week, man?
Doing damn fine. A little burnt, dude. It's been hot as shit. I'm sure you're well aware. Ready for the weekend, man. Yourself?
Yeah. I noticed it was a little warm this week. Fucking had a tornado in Tucson, and fucking I don't know. I guess people are calling it a tornado. It's probably a microburst, but still, people are saying there's a tornado in Tucson. Of course, Arizona doesn't particularly ever get things like tornadoes or hurricanes or earthquakes or really much any natural disasters, other than things like drought and extreme heat, wildfires, stuff like that. But yeah, definitely some weird weather we've been having this week. Monsoon season,
Yeah. Hot, humid,
right?
rough.
Desert life.
Yeah.
But all right, so we of course, as we mentioned, the Trump assassination attempt, the shots heard around the world. Of course, we'll be talking about that here in a little bit. We also got the Judge Cannon going ahead and dismissing the Trump classified documents case on grounds that well, nobody knows who the fuck Jack Smith is. How the fuck are you over here? Nobody knows who the fuck how you got in this fucking courtroom or how any of this is even taking place. Right. So yeah, case dismissed. Right. Good times, good times. We also got Trump's vice president pick, right? That we've been waiting on this, all year, since it's been become very apparent that Trump is going to be the nominee, but he has chosen J.D. Vance as his running mate, and we'll be talking about that here in a little bit. We also have Joe Biden, as expected. He is expected to bow out this weekend. Still don't have a fucking clue what they're gonna do. I mean, there are so many different. There's so in any which way they go, they're fucked, right? So there's really not much options here other than trying to assassinate your political rival again. I mean, that's pretty much the only options that they got left. So, yep. And yeah, that's about it, man. So, I don't know. We'll go ahead and I guess start with JD Vance. What's your thoughts on old JD Vance, man?
Well, obviously, the obvious first, veteran, family guy, married to, I believe, a Hindi
Mm,
wife. Obvious, the thing there that the left loves, the racisms. I mean, they're going to have a hard time claiming it against the guy. Mellow mannered as shit. But of course, you already have Biddens in the gang out here. Like it's extremesies, but he
right.
seems like an overall good guy, head cracker. One of the latest little clips that went viral here was pretty great. Like I hate to tell you this, but I don't care about Ukraine one way or the other, and that's
Right.
exactly what you want to hear from a president or vice presidential candidate. You know what I'm saying? Instead of let's destroy your children's future to help save the border and the democracy of fucking the most corrupt country in Europe. So
Right.
there's that. So so far it seems pretty good. The left has brought out old clips apparently back what like 2015, 16. He was saying, I'm a never Trumper. It seems like he'd be a horrible president. Yada yada. Went on to some years later, about 3 years ago, publicly apologize and bow down to the down and kiss the ring, man. And hence the reason here he is, which we know, unlike the left, that if you disagree with them, you're enemy number one for the rest of their natural born lives. Trump
Right.
likes to forgive and forget, and let's work together and do what we can do and move forward, man. And
Right. I
sure
mean,
sign of it right there.
that is one of the 48 laws of power. As former enemies will become some of the greatest allies. But yeah, man, I really don't know much about the dude. Like I said, I've heard most of the stuff that you mentioned. Like back in 2015, he was a never Trumper. But again, like I said, for former enemies that have been vanquished and basically now work for you are usually going to be the most loyal allies. But yeah, I also know that he's a best-selling author. I guess that's another thing that people were saying. And I mean, from what I hear, he doesn't have a lifelong fucking political career. So there's another fucking plus right there. And again, there's the fact that the Democrats are reeing out about it so hard. It's a good sign.
That and the fact that if you get into his personal story, he joined the service directly as a result of 9/11. You know what I mean? He saw thousands of his countrymen get murdered in an instant, and was like, "Send me over there to fucking burn down some fucking mud houses and tents real quick." You know
Yeah,
what I
I remember I had aunts and uncles doing the exact same thing.
mean?
But yeah, I mean, definitely, like I said, the whole point of Trump's vice president pick is the fact that they are, if the Democrats have a majority in the down ballot races, which they are probably going to be vying for, mostly because they know that they don't really have any sort of viable chance at the presidency. Then yeah, Trump's definitely going to get impeached again, right? If he even survives that long. I mean, like we've already seen. I mean, things they're getting very desperate with it, and you can't put anything past them at this point. But one thing that is for sure is they're definitely going to impeach him. So as we've been saying,
If it even gets to that, they've already drawn up paperwork to try to deny, the results.
right?
Basically, old rat skin, Jamie rat skin, fucking,
They already have
cancer
their
carrier.
alternate slate of electors.
Yeah, and he's drawn up, a bill to, basically say that if you're guilty of insurrections or a felony, that you can't be president. And I mean, it's just
Yeah,
one scheme after another, man. You know what
yeah.
I mean?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I think the writings on the walls. I don't think they could. I think most of them have come to terms with the fact that they can't stop this. They can't stop this by any sort of legal means or by any sort of democratic means. They can only
Yeah,
stop
and
this the way that they just tried last weekend.
right. Yeah, and to me that it also you've seen old Bob Menendez get
Hmm.
found guilty for bribery, corruption charges, right? And you got Rat Face Schumer coming out calling for him to step down, and I think that it plays into the whole if you're convicted because the whole time of course that increased their their lead in the Senate, so they kept him on all this time after forcing old what was his name Santos to leave, along with, of course, the hand of the GOP, the fucking jellyfish. But he wasn't convicted in anything. He was basically found that he bullshitted, and that's all
All
these
right,
fucking people do. But he was forced to get out as pro Trump as you could get, MAGA wise, voted with Trump 100% of the time. And so I see this as part of that. Like, see, we're doing the right thing. You guys should do the right thing. Like, you've
right,
already let this dude use power during his trial this entire time. Fuck right off. You know what I
right.
mean?
That's the same sort of tactic that they're trying to use in the Trump assassination thing. It's like, oh, you guys, I think we just need to tone down the rhetoric, right? Republicans, we really need to make sure that we don't stoke any more violence. Like it's
Right.
the same thing that they're trying to do. Like, oh, we need to start doing the right thing now, guys. This is all of us. Like, no, it's not. It's you, motherfuckers. Like, you
And the
mother.
people that are,
We've been doing the right thing. Like,
yeah. And the people that are saying that the most, the tone it down shit, you see the talking heads because they're the weakest among us. They're the people that are peaceful because they're not capable of violence rather than
right.
being peaceful of choice. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like they would love to commit heinous acts. All communists do, but they're
Right.
just not fucking capable. And even worse, they're playing the me show where I'm scared for us, for journalists, like right, the ones
Right.
that have been stoking the fucking flames of violence for fucking 8 years. Hmm.
Yep. Pieces of shit, man. It's
Yeah,
all it's like I said, the human nature is people are always going to work toward their own self-interest, right? I mean, and that's very, very apparent when it comes to positions of power. I mean, so like we say all the time, general rule of thumb is if you don't want them to abuse a power, you shouldn't let them have it in the first place. Right. I mean, anything that you allow the government to interfere in your life, you will never get that right back again. You will never get them out of that part of your life. There's nothing more permanent than temporary government assistance,
It's one of the dispositions of all delusional bills and proposals, man, is they seem to disregard human nature, bro.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
Everything sounds great, in lollipop and palm tree utopia on paper. In
Right.
reality, things always work out differently, man.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that could be applied to literally any aspect of, our social safety systems and stuff. I mean, down to the point of somebody that actually does work every day for a living based off of their own self-interest. They sit here and look at all these other motherfuckers not working and living off of your own labor. That motherfucker is going to start trying to think like, well, fuck it. What the fuck am I doing all this shit for? What the fuck am I breaking my back for while everybody else gets to sit around? That's it's just the way that systems end up going when you uh, avoid or ignore the laws of human nature.
Yeah, you watch the Zelenskys buy $500,000 cars. Is your fucking
Right.
money devalued?
Yep. Yep. But yeah, so JD Vance. I mean, of course, not necessarily the person that we we're thinking that it was going to be. I mean, we didn't necessarily know, of course. I mean, we were floating around names like Vivek, but then of course we also do think Vivek would be much better for a some sort of cabinet position rather than vice president position. We're also talking Byron Donaldson. He would have been a great vice president. Fucking Tucker Carlson. There's a whole bunch of names floating around, But yeah, so JD Vance. I mean, again, it seems like the like the general kind of Trumpish tactic. He's basically going to get someone that's not going to try and overshadow him, but at the same time, he's going to still have the same loyalty and commitment to the agenda. To making America great again. So and of course he's still got that same repulsive factor to the Democrats. So that's really what was necessary. But yeah,
Right, and that's something that I was saying because you saw leftists across the inner zones and even ones you had interactions with laughing about it, and he was an anti-Trumper and all this. I mean, it's like, dude, you guys don't realize like this is strategic. It's not about being buds. That guy's just as horrifying to the left as fucking Trump is in some aspects, man. He just doesn't have the same aura, the bravado. You know what I mean? That's it. And in
right.
that case, to them, it may be even more dangerous because he'll appeal to people that Trump may turn off with that bravado and aura, man. You know what I mean?
Yep. Yeah, that's the same type of thing that we were talking about with the debate, where basically a lot of the people that were watching the debate, waiting for those fucking Trump zingers, were really kind of disappointed. But he wasn't aiming for you. You're going to vote for him no matter what. He's aiming for the more moderate Republicans. And that's another thing that like you're just saying, JD Vance would be attracting. He'd be attracting that people with military background, stuff like that, all the fucking neocon warmongers. Of course, you don't have to agree with their politics, but nevertheless, you still need their votes and their support.
Yeah,
Yep.
for sure, man. And let's not let society forget that Kamala called Joe a racist rapist. You know what I'm saying? Before signing on as the VP. So
right. And let's also never let anybody forget that Kamala's one job, one thing that she was outright responsible for, they even named her the czar of it when she was Biden's vice president, was the border. That's her claim to fame over this last 4 years. So let's not let that die out either.
With the dual position of AI safety fucking commissioner.
Oh yeah, right. Good God, man. Someone save this fucking nation, man.
Yeah.
Fuck.
That was even, you saw at the RNC, the Hulkster out there, 80-year-old
Right.
Hulkster and shit. And
Fuck
classic stuff, right? Americana, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But that's the the left laughing about it and shit. And while it is, I guess, comparable to the old Macho from fucking Idiocracy.
Right.
It's
I actually didn't think of that, but yep.
yeah, yeah, but still, I mean, classic Americana shit right there, man.
Right. There's nothing more America than when fucking Hulkamania runs wild on you, brother. Fuck,
Right.
paid too much for this shirt.
Yeah.
Right, but yeah, classic, you know, American fucking style, just American aesthetic, just but at the same time, yes, it is, it is a bit of idiocracy, but
Yeah.
that is what you need to attract those more centrist, lefty leaning people. Fuck it. Gotta bring them all. Fucking gotta bring a little bit of the Amber Rose and fucking what was that fucking like weird ass like Zimbabwe prayer that they fucking did before the RNC.
I didn't even see that part, man. I
I
did
I've
not see that
I
part.
saw I saw a short clip of it and I was like, they're doing this that aren't whatever, man. Whatever. They were trying to bring a new fucking crowd, I suppose. Yeah, but yeah, it struck me as a little bit odd, but
Or the priest that imitated Trump before he offered prayer, man. That was pretty good too.
yeah, I didn't see that one. I'll have to look that one up later. But yeah,
Yeah,
fucking
good shit.
all right. Yeah, so speaking of which, man, the RNC was this week as well. I mean, again, just you know, not definitely not a slow news week, right? So I mean, let's talk about the RNC for a minute. I mean, of course, we're going to be talking about Trump's the assassination attempt on Trump a little bit later. We're going to try and get through some of these other some smaller topics, and we're going to spend a good amount of time on the Trump assassination attempt. We got a shitload of notes, and we're not even probably a quarter into this fucking story being revealed, and it's already been about a week. So but yeah, let's real quick talk about the RNC. That was going on again. Trump scoring huge political points by basically walking out on stage and fucking being in good spirits. He didn't look shook. He didn't look anything different than the way that he always is. If anything, he looked even more fucking
Tired. He looked a little
yeah,
tired.
yeah,
He did look a little tired,
right.
man.
But yeah, basically just coming out and yeah, he gave a epic, what was it, like fucking like 90,
92
80,
minutes or some
yeah,
shit.
90 some minute fucking speech, longest nomination acceptance speech in American history, right? I believe so.
It's second to his previous one.
Right, man, fucking yep. Yeah, if it wasn't for the shooter, that rally would have gone deep into the night. I'll tell you that. Instead, it was just a rally of fucking feds and red, yellow line, yellow tape and shit.
Right. But yeah, I mean the speech. I mean, great, dude. Unifying.
Yeah,
it was great how he started off with the unifying aspect. Wasn't mentioning Biden. He was talking about policy achievements and where to go from there. Whatnot. And he didn't start, digging anything until most people had tuned out.
right.
Like he just said, super long speech, man. And you figure most people have the attention span of maybe 30, 40 minutes, and then even some seasoned maybe 60 minutes. Well, that last 30 minutes was where he showed some of that old throwing some punches. But other than that, unifying, great. I thought he did a fucking great job, and that's not just because obviously I support the guy. I mean, even if it would have been someone else that gave a similar speech, you would have to say the same. What's your opinion, man?
Yeah, dude, like I said, I think it was epic. I think it was, like I said, definitely a unifying speech. Yeah, dude, it was like I said, just the symbology of it. It's I mean, that's really kind of what a lot of these you know leaders and stuff used to do back in the day is basically they'd have to go out and they'd have to show a feat of strength. They'd have to show a feat of rigidity. At the bare minimum, take a fucking cognitive test.
Yeah.
But we're in a new day and age, but I mean, I think that was very symbolic with Trump, and dude, he gained a lot of fucking support. I mean, there's a whole bunch of people that have been apolitical for the entire time that they've been celebrities, stuff like that. There's been so many fucking people just basically coming out and it's like, nope, can't deny it. The dude's a motherfucking badass. The dude is a bad motherfucker. Like, no, can't anybody take that from him at this point, you know?
Yeah, and he goes off teleprompter, you know, on a regular basis, goes on, rants off the cuff, and his opponent sure as fuck can't do that because that guy can't even read a cue card. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? I mean, like even with like the reporters he's in front of, it's not only that he can't remember their name, so he's got to look at a card. It's he's afraid to call on someone else because they might not have fucking pre-vetted questions. You know what I mean?
Right. Like, what was it? Was it like just today or something like that? You couldn't remember Lloyd Austin's name? Called him the black guy.
Yeah, it was days ago, but yeah, hilarious
Yeah.
shit. Yeah, I nominated the Secretary of Defense. What is it? The black guy? Yeah, yeah, kind
Yeah, you know, the black guy.
of.
Right. Fucking called Zelensky Putin. Fucking
Trump, the VP. Fucking
right. Called Trump his VP. You know, it every single time this person speaks, it is a gaffe. And so, of course, that would lead to why he is basically saying that. Yeah, again, he hasn't said it yet, but rumor is that sometime this weekend he is going to announce that he's dropping out of the race. Right. There's been at least once an hour, and my phone's getting some sort of notification that one of second Senate Democrat has just asked or suggested Biden step down. Oh, another one actually.
yeah, it was
Two more
6 total
congressmen.
today.
Right.
6
Yeah.
just today.
Yeah. Like just every fucking hour, some new Democrat is basically coming out and asking Joe Biden to step down. Of course, they have so many fucking issues with that because it is so late in the game. Right. This is something that needed to be done months ago. Right. All the delegates are basically already assigned. That was the whole thing with the RFK is basically like, oh, no, you can't take delegates from me. I'm the incumbent. Yada yada and shit. I'm the one. And so basically everybody's placing their bets on Joe Biden. It's too late in the game for them to be able to rescind their bets and put it into a new candidate that's completely unvetted, hasn't had any time to run a political campaign, and basically is not pulling anywhere near as good as Joe Biden. Right? There's not too many people that are just like, fine, whatever, take it, my money, and put it wherever the fuck you guys feel like it. Of course, the voters may be loyal to the party in that sense, and that vote blue no matter who thing, but that's not necessarily the same thing when it comes to donors, right? So yeah, just a whole lot of damned if you do, damned if you don't on the Democrat side right now, and they're rightfully so panicking. They are panicking. I mean, dude, honestly, if I was batting for the Democrats, I do not see a way out of this. Like if I'm just trying to think honestly, like what might they do? Who might they be able to put in? Who might they be able to who might they be able to drum up for support for? They can't even bring in RFK anymore. Like they shut him out to the point where he is now running on an independent ticket. Basically, he can't switch either. All right, and that's probably the only person that I honestly think would have had a better chance against Trump on the Democrat ticket. Again, I don't think that there's anybody that can actually stop Trump, but compared to all the people that the Dems got in the fucking bat box right now, it's nobody.
Yeah, but per the Associated Press, just about an hour or 2 hours ago, Biden still saying, "I'm not dropping out," calling for unity. You know what I mean? And to disregard the calls from lesser Democrats, and you remember here recently, in that same Lester Holt interview, he was saying, the elites think they know better. Or no, it wasn't with Lester Holt. It was when he called into Morning Joe, and he's saying he's sick of the Democrat elites, not you guys, but the elites. You know what I'm saying? Like they know better and yada yada. You know what I mean? And it seems like in his mind he's sticking to it, right? But his mind's warped because he just keeps repeating debunked fucking talking points about Trump that even the
Right.
left has debunked at this point. You know what I mean? Just keeps repeating them fucking ad nauseum. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And then like with the delegates, it's like 3,000, right? Delegates that are supposed to be attached to Joseph Farr's, but Kamala's part of that ticket. You know what I
Right.
mean? So if she was the pick, The campaign funds would be released to her, the delegates would be released to her. You know what I mean? But she pulls fucking horribly.
Right. Damned if you do, man. Damned if
yeah,
you don't.
yeah. And the Democrats, of course, found one leftist obscure poll that showed her above Joe Biden's, and they're using that as justification that you can't pass camel toes over. And supposedly behind the scenes, she's been vetting people for a VP slot. You know what I mean? In her ticket. So I mean, it's hard to tell. But the takeaway from this, of course, is the Democratic Party that constantly preaches democracy, democracy. We got to protect our democracy. Is trying to undo the Democratic vote of the voters from the primary that just put Joe Biden as the supposed nominee. You know what I'm saying? I mean, so
Right.
we got to undo democracy to protect democracy, and it's a constant fucking show. And one of Camel Toes's quotes, which works great here, we're too busy looking at what you're doing to hear what you're saying. You know what I'm saying? And it fits perfect. Absolutely fucking perfect.
Yep. Yeah, to put it lightly, they're stuck between a rock and a fucking bowl of ice cream and tapioca.
Yeah.
That is
Yeah.
Joe Biden.
But with the slime balls, including now, Rat Face Schumer and fucking Jamie Ratskin was one of the ones that came out today. Old Ratskin, dude. And with them, they're the slimiest of the slimy, man. And
Right.
the desperation is deep. I don't think anything's off the table. And what a better way to justify, the sudden pole shift if they change the candidate out. And because right now, if they do the whole fortifications, no one's going to buy it. Joe Biden's
Right.
already flubbed it. Trump's already won it. And then if they bring someone else in, and suddenly there's an overnight fucking fraud count, they can go, oh, well, it's because of excitement for the new guy. He unified the parties. You know what I mean?
Right. Yep. I mean that like we say though, I mean the Democrat voters are fucking barking seals, you know? I mean they'll literally you put any fucking fish out in front of them, they'll fucking
Right.
So I mean that is still a possibility that you could quite literally bring out anywhere. You could even bring out fucking Gavin Newsom and they'll still just like, yay, I like California, there's beaches. Like that's it really is idiocracy, man.
It is. It is.
Yeah.
And what's the insane part of that is when you have any kind of a semblance of discussion with these people, the entire time it's just fucking insults and you know you're the idiocracy, but it's like
Right.
zero common sense or self awareness. I mean, you're telling them like, bro, you believe in fucking men can be women, and you were convinced that a carcass was running the country the last 4 years, bro. Like, shut the fuck up, man. You're
Right.
embarrassing yourself, son.
Right. I feel bad for your feel bad for your parents. You bring shame upon family.
Hey, mama.
The fuck you say? All right. But yeah, that's it's a shitty situation for the Democrats, man. Like I said, if honestly, like I said, if I was trying to view it from the perspective of the Democrats, Joe Biden's in the wrong here. Joe Biden should just fucking step his old ass out and let them try and fucking save whatever they can to get somebody to put as a candidate. So Trump's not running fucking unopposed for the presidency of the United States. I think that's kind of unprecedented to you know.
I look at it differently. They preach democracy, and we got to protect our democracy. Joe Biden was democratically won the primary. I think that they should be fucking stuck with his ass. And
Right.
the last thing that we want is for the dude that we obviously, well, seems pretty obvious we have it in the bag, to suddenly be changed out in the closing minutes. You know what I
Yep.
mean?
Shit. You don't know how fucking ridiculous these Democrat voters are? I'll bet you a fucking $5 bill that Sheila Jackson Lee is going to get reelected.
Oh shit!
I'm not
Fuck,
even fucking kidding, man. I bet anybody. I bet you anything she's going to get reelected. So for those that have not heard yet, Sheila Jackson Lee passed away today, and of course, not going to talk ill of the dead. She passed away from pancreatic cancer. She was 74 years old. Of course, she was a Democrat since the 90s, mid 90s, I believe. As I just read
I think it
the
was longer than that. I think it was like 30 some years. So,
yeah
slightly longer than that.
yeah it'd be mid-90s. I mean, I'm 34 now,
Oh, I'm
and I
getting
was
old.
born in the 90s.
That doesn't seem that long ago to me, man.
Right. Time keeps on slipping, slipping,
Yeah,
slipping.
I'm almost dead, Bobby.
Shit. Right. But yeah, so been in Congress for quite some time. She was a very outspoken advocate for the Black community, except of course when it came to the Black community that was her personal assistants. She not a big fan of those people. Not too big of an advocate for their rights.
One hell of a scientist.
Right. She's a masterful linguist. I'll give her that. And fucking I don't give a fuck who it is, but it's motherfucking Boo Boo or who the fuck did it. Right. Fucking yeah, that was, I mean, that was a fucking pretty funny audio clip. That was some she was giving it to him. She was giving him the fucking business. She wasn't letting nobody fucking slide with nothing. But and of course she also did think that the moon was made of mostly gases. So and she told that to a huge crowd while watching a solar eclipse with sunglasses halfway across her nose. But anyway, rest in peace. Rest in peace.
The leftists are going to come out and go, remember that time Trump came out and destroyed the fucking sun?
Right. Yeah. I read about it in Newsweeks. Or whatever one of those fucking lefty rags is. Fucking TNZ.
MSM.
Right. MSMs. I was thinking about one of I was thinking like the ridiculous tabloid ones where it's just like, like fucking, I don't know, somebody ate their whole baby. And then
right.
Yeah. And it's like, something stupid, like that type of shit,
Yeah. Werewolf child born in Mexico.
Right. That's racism. All right. So, in another win for the Dons J this week, Judge Cannon went ahead and this fucking case off my desk. Get this man out of my courtroom. You fucking psychopaths. Who the fuck is Jack Smith? Right. You want to go ahead and break that one down for us real quick, man?
Well, obviously, she at least partially based her decision off of the immunity case that just came out of the Supreme Court, where Clarence Thomas decided to add a little rider that basically pointed out in the Constitution where it says, a special counsel has to be like appointed by the president, it has to be confirmed by the Senate, and it has to be funded by Congress. And of course, none of those thresholds were met. And so, with that dissent coming down from the highest court in the land, regardless of what leftist reads like to fucking try to tell you, she made her decision off that and said, your appointment is illegal and unconstitutional. Therefore, the case fucking dismissed. And you've had every leftist reptile immediately come out of the fucking woodwork. And of course, go on with the claims that the MAGA fucking courts are corrupt and yada yada, and that this has to be appealed and overturned immediately. And of course, they want Eileen Cannon nowhere near any of this moving forward. But Jack Smith, of course, being the lapdog he is, immediately did the bidding of Ratface Schumer and filed that appeal. So we'll find out, I'm sure soon how that'll go. And apparently he's quoted as saying that he will prosecute and pursue Trump as long as it takes, even if that's up to and including Inauguration Day.
Right. As long as it doesn't have anything to do with, me being vetted by the Senate or, anything like that. I definitely don't want to go through that, but I'm going to do everything I can to fucking put Donald Trump away.
Yeah, and the last thing that they want is this guy to have to be confirmed by the Senate, to have to stand in front of Ted Cruz and Josh Hawley, because this dude has apparently been smacked around by the Supreme Court several times throughout his fucking, not very illustrious career.
Yeah. Yep. So again, it's I mean, of course, minus the whole ear thing. It's been a pretty damn good week. For the Trump camp. Uh, yeah, definitely. So some. It's good to see that justice prevails. Of course, the Supreme Court has been our saving grace through this whole thing, pretty much.
Clarence Thomas is
Right, Clarence Thomas. Yeah, yeah,
the other
but
ones,
yeah,
they come and go. They switch sides, according, to what the topic is, or how much political pressure there is. But Clarence Thomas is a staunch fucking man. You know what I'm saying?
Uncle Tom, motherfucker.
Yep.
Right,
And the Biden campaign is continuing the high tech lynching that the dude began at his confirmation. So
yep. But either way, we're winning, assholes. Made apparent by the next topic, which is the shot heard around the world. So everybody, we don't need to break it down for you. Someone took a shot at Donald Trump. All right, we got a whole
there's
lot of
shots, like 8 of them.
took shots. Fucking so much that fucking 50 Cent played a show with Donald Trump's face superimposed over his album cover. Did you see that video?
Oh yeah, great, man. It's classic
Right,
shit, dude.
right. Yeah,
And then,
good
not to
shit, man.
mention Dilly Mean Team, pretty much immediately afterwards had the whole album cover with it printed with the song and everything.
Right. Yep. Yeah, man. Fucking like I said, a lot of people coming out in support of Donald Trump right now. So let's first and foremost acknowledge that somebody did lose their lives here. It was in a attempted assassination, but of course we're gonna send out condolences to the family of Corey Compratore. I believe I might be pronouncing that right. I may be putting a bit too much emphasis on it, but either way,
Oh, perfect,
like
man.
to like to pay our respects. Um, this it's a horrible thing. Again, we emphasize on this show quite often: political violence is never the answer. I mean, yeah, obviously, as we've mentioned many times before, we're winning here. We're winning. We're winning the proper way. So there's no need for anybody to get upset, or no need for anybody to try and go after any people, any shit like that. Obviously we're not unhinged leftists, and so we don't gotta resort to that level. But yeah, so of course hearts go out to the family. From what I've heard, they've been getting quite a few donations from the patriots, from people that are just in support. I'm pretty sure they're going to be well taken care of, but again, no amount of money could ever replace what a father is to a family. So I mean, that's terrible.
Yeah, and don't let the left play the man down. You hear the left. Oh, he was a volunteer firefighter. He was a fire chief, regardless volunteer or not. The man was there to run things. You know what I mean? And he died shielding his wife and fucking daughter. You know what I mean? That's a fucking hero right there. Not to mention the EMTs and firefighters. Those are the real heroes of society as is. You know what I mean? Those are your everyday fucking supermen, and this man was one of them.
All right. Yeah, we appreciate your sacrifice. But yeah, so July 13th, 2024. You remember what you were doing when it happened, when it went down?
Yeah, I mean, I remember exactly, and it was like up to the minute, of course, news updates. You have the same, and it was just like, holy shit! I didn't even think it was real at first. Like I had to, check multiple news sources real fast, and at first it came out, and it was hard to find corroborating stories, and it was like, holy shit. But
Right.
luckily, the clip came out pretty quickly, let everyone know, that the Don was okay, and the reaction of the crowd though was something fucking out of the storybook, man. There
Oh
was no
yeah.
trampling, there was no lunacy. It was, pure concern for the president. Once they realized he was all right, it was USA, man. You know what I mean? It was something to behold for sure. I mean, you see at a concert, for instance, people get trampled and killed
Right.
because of a fight or something breaks out, and this was, eight to 10 shots taken, pure, total, with the Secret Service and, the shooter, and people were able to control themselves in the crowd. That was unexpected, and shows, the difference in quality of people, man.
Right. Yeah, there's definitely a different energy, at that place at that point in time. Obviously, you could see people that were instantly just concerned with did we just witness the death of Donald Trump. Of course you did see the patches in the crowd where people did get hit, the people that were in the immediate area immediately jumping into action, helping people out. Again, a different energy, different composure, as you would see in many other different sorts of large gatherings or large crowds. It wasn't just that. This isn't just a large gathering of just people there for something. These are people with a purpose. These are people that are I don't know, bound together by some sort of energy that I guess the spirit of America that brings us all together. Trying to save our nation. These people are all bound together by something something great. And yeah, just the fact that nobody was trampled. There was no stampede. There's no you know really bad anything, any sort of panic at all. It was just pure concern, and yeah, everybody just kind of looking out for each other. As yeah, definitely some crazy stuff to see. But yeah, actually, when I first heard about it, I actually woke up. I had gotten home from work, hot as fuck, of course, and I don't normally take naps, but yeah, I ended up fucking passing out. Fucking woke up and I saw a text message and I was like, oh shit! And then of course, I saw the video. Fucking yeah, saw all the media hype. But yeah, I woke up probably about like an hour and a half after it taken place. So yeah, is surreal. I mean, at the same
Yeah.
time, I kind of expected it. Kind of saw it. That it is, like I said, the Democrats are running out of options. If I was on their side, I'd be fucking panicking too. And so yeah, like I said, they're a cornered animal. They're very dangerous at this point, and as we see, that is the case. It's not conspiracy. That's the reality here. So
Even
yeah,
with their rhetoric, their verbiage at this point, even with the whole "we got to tone it down," it's still everything's extremesies and fear, and you know what I mean. And it just, I can't even imagine being involved with a party or a group that just wants to keep you in perpetual fucking fear of your fellow countrymen, man. You know what I mean?
right.
And the left love to use the term phobia. Like, dude, we're not scared as shit when it comes to these fucking people, but like being disgusted and turned off and nearly made sick is far from fucking phobia. It's not
Right.
about fear, and these people thrive on fear. Everything, every news fucking article, every news segment, every show. That's all it is fucking be afraid.
Yep. Yep. That's, like I say, it's a fucking psychological operations. It's mass fucking mind control. Uh, yeah, I'm telling you, definitely some insane fucking 1984 type shit that we're living through.
Yeah, you're seeing a hybrid of Operation Mockingbird and the Smith Modernization Act at work.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right. Yep. Yeah. People's minds have just been fucking warped with propaganda. Like I say quite often, with the absence of truth, perception becomes reality, and everybody's just going off of their perception or what they've heard or what they've read. And really nobody in America knows the truth of anything. I mean, I'm sure there are, of course, people, but we don't know who the fuck those people are. But yeah, for the most part, the average Joe American has no actual idea of everything that's going on right now. Even people like us that pay attention, we don't even know what the fuck this is all about. I got so many different notes here of different, possible angles to go over and stuff that's been thrown out in the media already, and different sorts of theories and stuff that people have been, talking about. And yeah, there's zero definitive answers. There's not even a story. The fucking the United States government hasn't even given us a story. All we know is who the person was, basically what happened, and all of the stuff that the people have been able to piece together. With we got some video clips and stuff that we're going to be playing here in just a minute that kind of breaks down a lot of the time frames and stuff. The different trajectories. All this stuff is basically put together by people. We haven't gotten any sort of official narratives, from the government, and it's everything about this is odd. Every
Yeah,
fucking thing about this is odd.
even down to the fact that the story from Cheadle, right, about the slow
Hmm.
growth, fucking ludicrous and ridiculous. You know what I mean? You have Josh Hawley saying in a closed briefing that she couldn't answer questions, was completely unprepared. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Then you have the Secret Service denying a Freedom of Information Act with pertaining to the shit. You have Mayorkas basically denying fucking access to Cheadle as far as the congressional fucking board goes. I mean, so all of it's just being hidden. I mean, so yeah, we can go on with theories, stories, and put all this shit together, and that's not even saying most of it's not facts, because obviously, like the trajectory stories and who was shot, yada yada, that's all real deal, obvious stuff. You know what I mean? But it's going to become a JFK scenario. You know what I
Yep.
mean?
Oh
If
yeah.
you get to see anything, any detailed information, it's going to be long after anyone that was involved is fucking dead.
Right.
You know
We'll
what I
be
mean?
lucky if our grandkids, end up finding out the truth.
Right.
At least, like I say, in the way that it's been going, so far, that's, like I say, if Trump does anything when he gets into office, I say, bring some fucking, truth as a disinfectant to this fucking putrid, infested, uh, disease, fucking that is our government. Just clean
Pun
that fucking
intended.
shit out. All right.
Pun intended. Get on truth. Check out his post.
Right.
Trying to bring some truth to you.
All right. Truth. But yeah, I mean, shit. I mean, that's another uh fishy thing. I don't have the name written down of the company, but someone put got 12 million put shares sold just the day before he was to be assassinated. I mean, I don't know if that's just some amateur insider trading. That's just did you not think people would notice? They're trying to claim that it was a typo, right? Oh, we actually added too many zeros. Whoops. Right. But at the same time, everybody fucking knows that uh if it had gone through, if of course, if Trump had been assassinated, Donald Trump's DJT stock, which is basically the stock that is holding a Truth Social, would have gone way down, because of course Donald Trump being on Truth Social is the heart and soul that drives Truth Social.
That's
So
it. Other than that, it's fucking retards,
right,
lunatics, and
yeah.
Q members and shit.
Yeah, yeah, I really don't ever check fucking True Social. It is
I was just on
rough.
there recently, and I got blocked by Conservative Truth.
Right. But yeah, so I mean, really, the only thing that keeps that stock afloat is Donald J. Trump being alive, right? So basically, if you were to take out 12 million put options on that stock, that means that you are very, very sure that stock is going to fucking plummet very, very soon, right?
Right. Which, for the people that's not aware of that, that's literally borrowing a stock and selling it at a fucking profit as it's about to get a loss. So then you pay back the person at that loss and keep the profit. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? It's a scheme, Bobby.
Yep. Yeah. So yeah, basically that's some really kind of fishy insider knowledge, right? So of course, if everything had gone through and Donald Trump had gotten taken out, and the stock did plummet, and they ended up making all of this fucking money off of that plummeting stock, um, yeah, they probably would have kept all that. They probably wouldn't have been trying to write it off as, oh, that was just a clerical error. Sorry about that. Whoopsies. We'll get
So
that
what kind of
taken care
error?
of right away.
What was it? I mean, was it 120,000? Was it fucking? You know what I mean? Was it
Right.
12,000? Like,
No,
what was
yeah, I think they're trying to say
it?
like it was 12,000. It's like, so you accidentally pressed zero. What was it? Fucking what, 5 extra times, something like that.
And then, not to mention, like I've heard other reports that there was another one for 7 million. You know what I mean,
Yeah.
with the short sale as well. Yeah. So I mean, to me, it was somebody knew something, man. You know what I
Right.
mean? And then even if you gave the benefit of the doubt, like I heard a Tim talking about it, that supposedly there's a delay in filing. So maybe it was,
Mhm. Yeah,
48 to 72 hours beforehand.
right, right. So yeah, I mean, there's lot of very very fishy stuff about this. I mean, obviously, the shooter, of course, was a 20-year-old guy named Thomas Crooks. From the pictures they've been showing all over the media and stuff like that, we're not going to show his picture on here, but the pictures they've been showing all over the media, he doesn't necessarily look like he's gone through too much, covert ops sniper training. He looks like the kid that got fucking picked on at school, right?
He
So
kind of reminds one of the Dylan Shed kid from the Sandy Hook fucking situation, man. Real
yeah,
similar. You know what I mean?
yep, yeah. I don't remember that Sandy Hook time. I wasn't really paying attention to anything at that time. I think I was probably still in fucking like high school or something actually. But uh yeah, so not necessarily somebody that you would think was some world class sharpshooter. Of course, has really no social media presence at all to speak of. Again, something highly suspect for
except for encrypted foreign accounts.
right, right.
Is that?
Yeah, yeah. Didn't they find like three foreign encrypted accounts like just
Yeah,
today or yesterday
and
or something like that?
yeah, and supposedly, now that the FBI was able to, after what, almost a fucking week, finally get into his cell phone. Now a report just came out that supposedly the last search on his phone before he was shot was for porn. Fuck, and he has that look about him.
Right, right. Yeah, so not necessarily somebody that you would think is some sort of a covert operative or some like I say world class fucking sharpshooter. So the whole
Yeah, so
theory. Okay.
supposedly he couldn't even make his high school fucking
Right.
target room. So
Right. So this whole theory that Trump set this up and stuff like that, like to he did it for the photo op, right? It's another thing that the Dems are spreading around is he set this up himself for a photo op and shit. I mean, just basic Occam's razor in this one. All right. So is the most likely option that this 20-year-old goofy looking fucking nerd ass kid that got fucking picked on in school, that of course that's what the media is again trying to portray. Oh, he was bullied. Like, who gives a fuck? He fucking deserved it. Right. But that this kid was not a very good shot and didn't happen to fucking hit him with any of the fucking shots and shaking around as he was shooting and shit was the you know was that the most likely scenario? Or was the most likely scenario that this 20-year-old goofy looking fucking kid that got bullied in fucking school was a fucking world-class sharpshooter that could shoot the fucking wings off of a fly from 100 yards out and happened to fucking just perfectly whiz a bullet and just nick the top of Donald Trump's ear from 130 yards? Which one seems more plausible to you?
right.
Right?
Yeah, and who the hell's gonna pay to have a bullet shot at their head, regardless
Right.
of photo ops? Number one, number two, if you're gonna do that, you're gonna want like a Chris Kyle level fucking sniper.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, so there's that theory right out the fucking window, right? Um, yeah, obviously this was caused by, again, we don't know the actual dude's motives. We don't know if there's any sort of manifesto, anything like that. But one could probably speculate that it was probably from the media for the last 8-9 years, labeling Donald Trump as Hitler, as the Nazi, as an existential threat to democracy, as basically every single name in the book. I mean, we don't need
a
to list them all.
heartfelt, a Joe Biden heartfelt, legitimate threat to the country.
Right. Right. I mean, you name it. This has been the message for years, for almost a fucking decade now. You didn't think that this was going to happen eventually, right? I mean, the motives are clear. At least, like I say, in my opinion, there's nothing clear about any of this, right? So again, all of this is really just kind of speculation and trying to put together the pieces that we've been, given, over the last week. But most of us would think that the motive is clear for why any sort of young, nerdy, fucking bullied kid and fucking 20-year-old fucking kid would want to try and shoot Donald Trump, right? So I mean,
He was
you
willing to
speculate.
take a small payment in exchange for a fucking large caliber bullet to the eye. I mean, come
Right,
on, that makes total logical sense, man.
right.
I mean,
It's gonna be a
what are you
great
thinking,
photo
bro?
op, bro.
Right,
It's
right.
gonna be
I
a
mean,
fucking great photo.
it's not a laughing matter, but it's hard not to laugh at how ludicrous the explanations and stories have been. The worst one I believe thus far, beyond conspiracy theories or leftist weird fucking rhetoric, is Cheadle. Like I said, her whole, well, we didn't have that roof secured because it was sloped, so there'd be like a safety issue. And the snipers that were stationed above Trump were on a more sloped roof. You know what I mean? And
Right,
I can't. I think it was Snowflake News that put out a little video of her, having this interview and saying this as they're showing the snipers above Trump and show the roof where the shooter was at, and you know what I mean?
side by
And
sides and shit.
yeah, and it's just laughable. And this is the one person that her sole fucking job is to know the story, to know what was going on, and was to secure the place, or rather secure the protectee. You know what I
Right,
mean? And whatever that entails, you know what I mean? And she has no fucking clue, obviously. And it's not only this is a diversity hire, she wants to make 30% minimum of the Secret Service diversity hires, and has
right,
said it openly. They made a video about it and celebrated the fact that they let some TikTok so-called influencer fucking train with the Secret Service to attract fucking diverse candidates, dude. I mean, it's laughable shit. It goes hand in hand with even the current, education paradigm. It's more about rainbow fucking rhetoric rather than arithmetic and history. You know what I mean? You see, like in leftist states, Washington, they've done away with math scores and shit. And this is the result of those things. You know what I'm saying? I mean,
yeah.
directly. All this is hand in hand. It's one big DEI package, and it will fucking destroy everything. We've said it a million times. DEI is DIE.
You got that right. Say it twice. Say it 3 times.
Yeah.
DEI. DIE.
Right, and then you see, the again the result of that with the fumbling of pistols can't holster them, and they're supposed to be protecting, and they turn around, the vehicle's pulled away from them, they got to run to catch up, and like the ones hiding behind fucking the Don as he's getting shot at, using the Don and the other Secret Service agents as shields.
Right. But you got to get those glasses on. Got to
Yeah.
go good. And meanwhile, she's over here trying to fucking tuck her gun into the badge.
Gosh, the chick with the ponytail, she keeps looking back at the crowd and look at the truck's done pulled off. She's like, "Oh shit!" Takes off running.
Right. Yeah. As that saying goes, you never send a woman to do a man's job. I mean that's not just some chauvinistic, sexism things. That is reality.
Yeah.
That there are some things that need to be handled by only men. Like for one, being a human shield for how tall is Don?
6'4", man.
Right. To be a human shield for a 6'4" man, you probably need to be a biological male, right? We'll stay with the woke lingo, right?
Right.
uh,
At least this fucking goddamn WNBA player. You know what I mean? You at least got to be a
right.
6-foot
Bare
chick.
minimum, bare minimum, So I mean, again, there was people passed up that were fucking decorated fucking military, real badass fucking murderers and shit like that, that were passed up for
To
these
put that
people.
fat chick that
Right.
can't even holster a fucking pistol.
Right. That's let me see. That's what your diversity is bringing about, right?
Just gives up. Tries again. Right.
Yeah, dude,
I'm sorry, but
absolute
that's not
failure.
protection. You call it misogynistic. I don't care if you call it the patriarchies. I don't give two fucks. This right here is not protection, and this is not winning, man. This is not what's hot.
Right. I don't feel safe.
Right. And then you seen right there as the video ended, you seen some real fucking soldiers coming out, dude, geared the fuck up. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like they should have been there to
Yeah.
begin with, dude.
I move, lady. Yeah. But yeah, absolute fucking failure. Absolute fucking failure of DEI and just the Secret Service in general, man. I mean, a lot of this stuff. I mean, I don't know. Again, you know, if you want to get all the down and dirty on the procedures and stuff like that, hit up the Dan Bongino show. That's where you're gonna get the best analysis as to what went wrong or what was you know what was not done. But at the same time, Bongino does have a bias towards Secret Service. You know, he's ex Secret Service, so in his mind, of course, Secret Service, the most honorable men on the face of the earth. They would never do any wrong. You know, at the end of the day, they are still government dogs, and they still have a master. And you know, that master is not the American people. So there's that. You know, there's a lot of people in this day and age, in this police state that we're living in, that are doing nothing more than following orders. So, I mean, there's that. It may have trickled down from the top down. Who knows? But either way, there was multiple abject failures in this entire thing. Right? Do what? I don't know. I don't have the fucking article or anything pulled up, but I was seeing somewhere that now the fucking dude was flying a drone around the fucking
Yeah.
area
Yeah.
like
I
several
just saw
hours
that too.
before. I did there are so many fucking things. Like this dude was well, let me see, I got a couple of them marked
Yeah,
down.
and apparently that came from them finally being able to gain access to his phone because it was one of those deals where you control it with like it's all recorded on your phone, everything the drone sees. You know what I mean? So they got to see all that footage and shit.
Right. Yeah. So I mean, he was spotted. I believe it was like 2 hours beforehand, um, as walking around with a fucking rangefinder, scoping out where the fucking counter sniper teams are. Like he was spotted and lost, and spotted again later on by a police officer that went climbing up the ladder after him, or climbing up on the roof after him. But he turned around and pointed a gun at me, and I shit my pants and jumped down off the roof.
Right.
But yeah, he was spotted by so many times by so many people, even people of different law enforcement. He was radioed about over the radio. Uh, People knew before Trump even took the stage. He's basically, Trump should never have taken the stage in the first place. And then even still, up until, you know, as we'll see in this video right here in just a second, up until about 4 minutes, I think it was something like that, before, you know, any shots were even taken, people were pointing him out. People saw him. You know, it's very, very hard to try and say that, like, oh, you know, we had no clue. You know, it's very, very hard to try and explain how this 20-year-old kid that was fucking bullied in school, big old fucking nerd, right, was able to get into that premises, into within 1,000 yards of that fucking place with a rifle, let alone climb up the side of a fucking building. Again, there's been different claims as to whether there was a ladder placed there beforehand or whether he climbed up the air conditioning unit on the side of the building. Again, not too sure, but to climb up the side of that building, get up on the motherfucking roof while people are sitting there pointing him out, saying, hey, there's a guy with a gun up there. And keep in mind, again, hours before, sitting there with the rangefinder, scoping all this shit out while people are walking around and scoping him out and saying, this guy looks suspicious. And you mean for us to believe that all of this shit just so happened to work out perfectly? Everybody just so happened to, you know, not be paying attention. I think they even tried to say one guy called in sick. Like, what the fuck? Yeah. Oh, the local police were supposed to be protecting that area. That wasn't us. Like,
And then the local police come out and we're like, we had nothing to do with that. We were fucking controlling traffic. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? And you know, supposedly it wasn't even the actual Secret Service detail, that it was temps, that they had prior commitments as far as the UN meetings that were taking place at the same time in New York. And then also they diverted a large force to Dr. Alice Cooper Biden because she was in the area speaking at the same time in Philadelphia, I believe.
Right. But yeah, let's go ahead and check out this. You know, this is right before the shots. But yeah, that's I believe it's multiple different camera angles. It's pretty good, pretty well put together video. But let's check this out real quick. Oh, I get some sound.
Yeah, someone's on top of the roof. Look, there he is right there. Right there, you see him? He's laying down. You see him?
Yeah, he's laying down.
And still I'm here with you fighting like hell to get a senator.
What's happening?
And to make sure we take back the White House, because if we do, we're going to make America better than ever before. We're going to make it.
Yeah, look.
And it's
There he
not
is.
easy, because we have millions and millions of people in our country that shouldn't be here. Dangerous people, criminals. We have criminals. We have drug dealers. We have people that should not be here. And it's much tougher than if it happened.
You went right on the roof with that.
In recorded history, we had the best border. In fact, if they could ever put up a chart, I don't know if they can do it. Do you guys have access to that chart that I love so much? You don't mind if I go off teleprompter, do you?
Going off teleprompter.
Because these teleprompters are so damn boring. I try and explain that.
Right. And again, if this was a Trump orchestrated fucking hoax, do you really think that there's any man that's thinking, okay, I'm about to have a fucking bullet whiz right past my head. My head needs to be right in the perfect position. Do you think there's anybody that's going to be able to go off teleprompter and just start, you know, if I could freestyle and if I can keep in composure and just talking, you know, normally like that? You know, like, fuck no, dude. There's your chances are fucking 1 billion to 1 that you're going to get fucking shot in the head right now. You know, this is a fucking 1 in a billion shot to make. So, I mean, it's a pretty good, you know, chance that you're about to get shot right now. And I just lost my light, so let's go ahead and get back to this video real quick.
Oh, there's it. Wow. You guys are doing it. They're getting better with time. My guys, take a look at that chart. Take a look at the arrow on the bottom. See the big red arrow, right? So that's when I left office. That was the lowest point, and that comes right from the government services, comes right out of Border Patrol. Take a look at that. So that arrow is the lowest amount of illegal immigration ever in recorded history into our country. And then the worst president in the history of our country took over. And look what happened to our country. Probably 20 million people. And you know, that's a little bit old, that chart. That chart's a couple of months old. And if you want to really see something, it says,
I hope he's turning this way. Be careful, guys.
We got breaking news. We got breaking news coming in. Shots fired. Seems to be shots fired at the Trump rally. We need to go live right now. We are live right now at the Trump rally.
One shot right here, Mike.
We don't know if President Trump has been shot. We know he hit the ground. We do not know if President Trump has been shot. He's up. He's up. Shots are still continuing to be fired. He's giving a thumbs up, everybody. He's giving a thumbs up.
I do say we love you, Uncle Trump.
Breaking news right now. This is Vanessa Broussard reporting to you live.
You don't know that wasn't his
Pennsylvania.
nephew,
We hear
man.
shots fired at the rally not 10 to 15 minutes after President Trump arrived.
All right, and you guys know the rest of this clown show because we just watched it. But
Yeah, quite an extended period that some action should have been taken. You know what I mean? And
Right.
again, you got the conflicting stories. They were waiting for confirmation to engage. There's, of course, the theory floating around like they state that they can't engage until there is engagement, which Bongino did away with immediately. So think about how
yeah,
fucking stupid that would
retarded.
be. Yeah, and it's again, like why weren't the shots taken? And the whole it sloped and he was putting his heads down as he was shooting. He was fucking
Right.
shooting. You know what I mean? Like the dude got off 8 shots before one was fired in return.
Right. That's
And just so
Yeah.
everyone knows, if you haven't heard already, it went in, I believe they said the left eye and came out behind the right ear. So
nice. Nice.
instant.
Yep. I got a like 1 second, like a half a second fucking just boop, flash picture of him on the video they did. Basically, showing I didn't even really do much of it. I just showed the prediction that I made back in December that Trump was going to get us, they're going to try to assassinate Trump. It's not going to work though. But yeah, I got age restricted on YouTube, of course.
Mm.
Yeah. But see, I got this video here. This is basically a 3D animation showing exactly what happened and how it happened. All right, so let's go ahead and check this one out real quick.
And where they were standing in the bleachers. We're going to turn around. This is the area we're going to focus in on. Here you can see the 3 victims that were injured by gunfire and where they were standing in the bleachers. We're going to turn around and demonstrate exactly where these bullets came from. This model represents Thomas Crooks. His position can be seen here in this image, which illustrates exactly where he was. Turning around, we can see the path of all the bullets that were fired from this location. I placed a 10-foot red disc downrange to represent what an average shooter could hit easily. Now let's take a look at this first shot fired. Coming from our key location, bullet 1 grazes President Trump's ear. This is the same bullet that hits a spectator in the stands. We know this through video evidence. As President Trump is talking, the first shot rings out just after he says, "Take a look at what happened."
Something to say. Take a look at what happened.
We can see the vapor trail of a bullet strike, which is the same bullet that struck President Trump's ear a split second earlier, and this video is this location here. Back at the podium, President Trump is shot and grabs his ear, falling to the ground as more shots rang out. In total, there were 7 or 8 shots. So let's rewind and watch this at regular speed.
Take a look at what happened.
With all that gunfire, it's easy to understand how these spectators were injured, even though they were not the target, including the sole spectator who lost his life that day. As we circle around, we can see how all the paths of the bullets were hitting in the location of this forklift machine, causing one of the hydraulic hoses to burst. This is
Yep.
There's a few shots that almost got him. You see there, even on the ground level, it was still aiming. You know
Right.
what I mean? So what about, when you see the other angles with the sniper above Trump, and it's obvious, you could see their body language change, everything, when they have that dude in sights. And it's like, why wasn't the shot taken, man?
Right. So that's what brings up so many fucking questions, and a lot of it, again, like I said, centered around the Secret Service. They are quite, they're supposed to be quite literally the most. They're secret, and they're like fucking ninjas, bro. Like, they're supposed to be the most elite, you know, bodyguards in the on the that has ever existed. You know, these people are supposed to fucking be able to detect shit coming from a mile the fucking way. Like these people have so many protocols and fucking procedures and you know, different, you know, just shit that they do to make sure that the presidents or whoever the protectee is absolutely safe. But yet there was so many different failures here. Again, like I said, if you want a, you know, whole list of all the different stuff that went wrongly, you know, procedurally, as you know, from the, I guess, somewhat of the horse's mouth, you know, hit up Dan Bongino. But yeah, just from the fact, again, you know, all the stuff that we've already mentioned, you know, how the fuck was he even able to get within, you know, 100 fucking yards of that place? You know, how the fuck was he able to climb up the roof? You know, how was the call able to go out over the radio? How is Donald Trump able to be let up on stage? How did they not pull him down after people were shouting out, "There's a shooter on the roof"? Like, how did they fuck up this bad? Right? Like this bad? Like this. Like I said, there's so many mistakes that have taken place by all of the different Secret Service members, and of course the main one, you know, the main culprit that everyone believes was you know, Kim Cheetle. Of course, you know, the name says it all. But yeah, there's so many different failures that it seems almost impossible with such an elite force as the Secret Service protecting you. You know, it doesn't seem possible that some weird fucking 20-year-old nerdy ass fucking kid who got bullied in fucking school was able to make it up onto that roof and take those shots. That doesn't make any fucking sense at all.
It's your tax dollars hard at work, man.
Right. And at the same time, what does this say for you know, for our foreign enemies, for our adversaries, you know, for anybody that might think of taking a shot at any of our other you know, political leaders? You know, it shows that it's really not that fucking hard. Some 20-year-old nerdy fucking kid that got bullied in fucking school could do it, but you know, old fucking Durka Mohammed Jihad that, you know, Joe Biden has been letting over the border for the last several years, they can't, right? And it doesn't make any fucking sense to me. Yeah.
Yeah, and then of course they tried to throw the attention away, like they immediately dropped the story of, well, just before, you know, the government was made aware of a plot from Iran to kill, you know, a list of Americans, and obviously Trump was one of them. But in reality, it turns out that that's old information.
Right. That's not a list. That's not a like kill list. That's updated fucking on a weekly basis. That's like fucking posted on every office door. Like that's just how they operate. Like they put those listings on fucking public television over there. Like that's not like something secret. You know, you get no secret document. And this infidel and that infidel and the infidel and all of these infidels, every American infidel. Like that's like,
I mean,
daytime TV.
they call America the big Satan and Israel the little Satan. I mean, it's that,
right,
you know, ridiculous. It's stupid shit.
The feeling's mutual, though. I mean, we yeah, I think those guys are fucking psychopaths. Like, I don't think they're following anything that has any fucking sense of goodness within it. I think they're fucking evil people. You know?
Yeah, and of course it could be just another, you know, look over here while we crumble as a party. But of course, you know, old Blinken just came out and says that, you know, Iran is in a window of 6 weeks from fissile material to build a fucking nuclear bomb. But I feel like they've been saying that my entire fucking life. You know what I mean? They're just weeks away, man. Here it comes.
Hey, remember those WMDs we told you about? Guess what?
Right. Iran's building them right now.
They're working on it right now. They got fucking people in tents all over the damn desert right now.
Right. So you were right the whole time. This is a retro decision.
All right. But let's see what angle to go to now. You think the shooter might have been some sort of MK Ultra type asset, like, you know, just somebody?
I mean, that's what I was saying about the Adam Lanza. You know what I mean? And like you look at him and like the Colorado theater shooter and so on and so on. I mean, they all have the same weird look in their eye. They're all involved with psychotropic drugs, as far as, you know, pharmaceuticals. You know what I'm saying? I don't even mean street drugs at that point. I mean, antidepressants, anti-anxiety medications,
Right.
so on and so on. And it seems that those things go hand in hand. You know what I mean? Those psychiatrists and psych majors, man, they're not there to be your bud. You know what I mean? They're there to twist and tweak your fucking thought process. And
Right.
believe me, if they're paid enough to do so, they will do so in a negative way. I mean, again, Operation Mockingbird, Operation MK Ultra. I mean, all these things are real. They're real. Go ahead, look them up, man. You can find most of the shit on, leftist censorious Google at this point.
Right. Yeah. Like I said, there's so much that was just off about this kid, from the fact that, like I said, no sort of social media presence, anything like that, which again, I don't got much of a social media presence either. If you follow me on social media, but that doesn't necessarily mean anything.
I'm sorry, man.
Then there's the fact that he donated to Democrats, like, what was it, like a couple of days beforehand, something like that.
No, it was when Biden was fucking running, against Trump in 2020. He donated $15 to fucking Act Blue, but at the time he was a kid. You know what I'm saying? I mean, 20 still is, but I mean, you understand where I'm going with that. He was even more so. And he actually, not long beforehand of this incident, he registered as a Republican.
Right. Yep. Yeah, that was the other thing too. He's registered as a Republican. Obviously, like we said, he tried going out for a shooting team in class, didn't make it. Like I said, just so much weird stuff about this dude. So many different opportunities where I don't know. Like I said, somebody could have gotten to him again. What about the parents, right? So I mean, that was the thing. I
haven't even heard single peep that you know what I mean? Like, where the fuck are these people?
Well, apparently the gun was his dad's, and his dad actually gave it to him beforehand because he said that he was going to go, shooting at the range or whatever, right? So yeah, I mean, I don't know about you, but I remember every single time that there is a young person that shoots like a school or something like that. Pretty much the parents are investigated and almost locked up like immediately. Like
there was parents at the Michigan shooting, that last mass shooting in Michigan that happened.
Right.
The parents are locked up right now, years in prison, man.
Yeah.
And then not to mention Democrats want to sue gun manufacturers for gun deaths. But this dude, they know for sure that the father gave the dude the gun. So why isn't he liable, man?
Right. Yeah, that's the big question. Right?
Yeah. And you got to touch on the Republican shit before we get too far away from it. About him, recently registering as a Republican. Let's remember that the Democrats were referring to that as strategic voting, and they did so throughout the primaries. If you remember, they did so for Nikki Haley in several states on the East Coast to try to fucking beat Trump.
Right. Yeah. That's true. That's a good point. I actually didn't even notice that, but yeah, thinking that was a recent thing that was going on. Their old Pied Piper, type thing, but yeah, so shit, I forgot what were we just talking about?
We're talking about the aspects of fucking the dude in the story, and to the point where we're
I forgot, but I forgot what point I was gonna make, but yes, the next part I was gonna go to is the gun grab type thing, right? The Democrats are already on the gun grab warpath, and if gun control has any sort of I don't know how to really put it, but the gun control obviously doesn't work, and in terms of political reasons and stuff like that, which is we know is the main reason why all these fucking politicians would like to disarm the population. If anything is a story to just kind of show how shitty that is, Japan, right? Japan, you can't get no motherfucking guns out there in Japan, but still, the prime minister of Japan just several, I think like a year or two ago, I don't remember when it was. I know it was pretty recent, but the prime minister of Japan, it might have been former prime minister, but was shot with a fucking 2 fucking pipes taped to a fucking piece of wood, like. So yeah, gun control.
And then
go ahead. I was just saying, gun control for political reasons doesn't necessarily work. If someone wants the politician dead, they're gonna get him. You know.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, and you also see, Russia has poisoned, defecting fucking politicians in other countries. You know what I mean? But then like Britain is an example. They banned guns as well, and knife crimes went up like 800%. They surpassed New York and London for violent crimes, and there's no guns. You know what I mean? And it's to the point there where you can't even buy like a butcher knife without, like basically you got to ask permission of the fucking state. You know what I mean? Like you got to be. Are you a butcher? Do you work in a kitchen? You know what I'm saying? Like that type of shit, ridiculous shit. And no, gun control is not going to work in this case because a gun is what solved the issue. And that's what they want. They want a monopoly on fucking violence and force, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And, even though the population has a kind of a tendency to fucking cuck, there's still that threat that looms. You know what I mean? And nobody wants to be shot, government lizard or not.
All right. Everybody wants to feel safe, though.
Yeah.
Yep.
Without government intervention.
I don't know. One thing I wonder, which is something that the Dems have been floating out there now, and again, something that has not really been brought up during this entire fucking presidential campaign, is Donald Trump's feelings on gun control, especially after the events of this last weekend, right? As we know, Donald Trump is, he's the person that instituted the bump stock ban. Of course, a lot of that was just in response to outcry after the Las Vegas shooting. But nonetheless, it did open the door for a lot of stuff, that door has been closed by the Supreme Court now, to basically let the ATF just start making fucking rules and just banning different parts of fucking guns, trying to go after magazines, fucking different sorts of pistol braces, bump stocks, basically everything they can. But basically the Supreme Court got that taken care of, decided that it needs to be an act of Congress to legislate, specific items. You can't just have a bunch of fucking unelected bureaucrats just, well, we're banning this, we're banning this, we're banning that.
And purposely being obtuse about the whole thing. The head of the ATF can't even tell you what a fucking an assault weapon is.
Right. They can't even tell you if what a pistol brace fucking actually does, And
I'm sure he knows, but again, it's purposely obtuse so they can use laws and bills, twist and tweak them, the meaning.
Right.
It's fluid at that point.
Yep. But yeah, that's one thing that I do kind of wonder is how Donald Trump is going to be towards the Second Amendment this go around. Especially again, we're going to see some violence from the left. If he gets elected, which again, all fucking signs are pointing to he's going to win. And there's not really anything they can do to stop him other than, maybe they could burn down New York City and Los Angeles. That'll really teach us a lesson, I'm guessing.
Yeah. And I myself have watched, I'm sure you've paid attention as well. Like you've seen Donald Trump, morph his opinions on the Second Amendment from 2016 just to 2020. And the bump stock thing, which obviously I don't agree with in any way, shape, or form. You know what I mean? Any kind of infringement, of course. But, it went from, take the guns first, due process later, I believe in stop and frisk, to the only thing that was done was the bump stock, which was done in a way that the Supreme Court just was like, that's not real. You know what I mean? So, it really didn't mean shit. You know what I'm saying? And the only impact it actually had was like, we were just saying, the ATF using it in their favor, obtusely to ban things that have nothing to do with it. You know what I mean?
Unilaterally declare things machine guns.
Yeah.
This magazine right here, that's a machine gun, buddy.
Right.
10 years. No, it's not. It's a fucking magazine. See that fucking that pistol brace you got on there? That's actually a short barreled rifle, my friend. 10 years.
Right.
Right.
Fucking lizards, man.
That fucking fuck, what I forgot what they're called, the fucking cleaner catch that you get for the end of your barrel to fucking for when you're cleaning shit. Oh no, buddy, that's a silencer now. You're going to prison, man.
All right.
Right.
Suppressor, bro.
Right. So yeah, I do kind of wonder in which direction that's going to go. But I mean, no, I think it's going to be all right because I'm pretty sure. Yeah, again, Donald Trump could only do so much himself in terms of guns anyway. It's going to be an act of Congress, and the majority of Congress that are, uh, pro MAGA, which again, as we said, seems to be the direction that the Republican Party is being dragged into, because of course they're coming along kicking and screaming. But the majority of people that are going to be MAGA are very pro Second Amendment. So, I mean, it's whether or not Donald Trump is still pro Second Amendment, to the same extent after these events. Again, it's going to be an act of Congress anyway.
Right.
But
Yeah, but are we good with this, or
yeah,
you
you
got
go.
a few more?
There you go.
I don't know if you've seen obviously the RNC, right? We touched on that earlier, but I don't know if you got to see any of the MSNBC crew. Like the one, they put up a fake digital background to make it seem like they were live from the RNC, which they weren't. You know what I'm saying? And of course, they're melting down and slinging conspiracy theories. But as usual, you have the lesbians fucking rolling on the Rachel Madcow, going on about the end of democracy and the existential threat and whatnot. But like we just said, it's literally these people that are trying to undo democracy, man, with every aspect of what's going on around you, and the language, everything is just made to bring up the heat while they're telling you they're scared and we got to tone it down. I mean, they talk out both sides of their mouth, and I feel you on, like you were just saying, there's going to be violence from the left when Trump's inaugurated, if not before, right after the election, probably. And these people are the key fucking culprits in this, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah. The fucking, like I said, the media, the propagandists, this Mudford Moss modernization fucking machine,
Yeah, and even this kid, at minimum, he's a product of hearing 8 years of Hatler's is coming to get you.
Right. Yeah. So speaking of the Dems, let's go ahead and get into that whole fucking subject, because Democrats are fucking shitting their pants over this right now. There's so many different fucking angles, as we talked about earlier. There's been people trying to say that it's a hoax, that Donald Trump set this up and shit like that. Again, I think all of those people should be sued for about, I'll be nice and say maybe about the quarter of the GDP of France, but I think these people need to be sued.
Ground into the earth, dude.
Yeah. So of course they're crying over literally everything that they can right now, from the fact that Donald Trump got up and said fight. They're trying to say that, oh, what sort of a person that just survives an assassination attempt gets to stand up and do a photo op and shit like that. That's what they're mad at the Secret Service about. They're mad at the Secret Service about letting Donald Trump get a photo in. Right.
Where it is, the left throughout up and down, they're trying to pressure media to fucking censor that photo, to keep it out of circulation as much as possible.
Yep. And if you could see, Donald Trump, it's not that they're letting him get a photo up. He stood the fuck up because he's fucking taller than all of those people there, and he fucking threw up his fist. He said, "Fight." It's not like they fucking, oh well, we'll pull over for you to get a photo real quick, sir. Like, no, he got up and he fucking wanted to let everybody know that he's all right, And so that's not a photo op. That's a true leader,
Not to mention that was his first and initial that was his initial reaction after coming, fucking it brushed with death and snapping back into reality. That was his natural first reaction.
Well, second reaction. First reaction was, let me get my shoes.
right.
My shoes. Don't forget my shoes, man.
Right.
First reaction.
That's $3,000 loafers right there, dog.
Right. Fucking around, man. Yep.
But you know, anyway, I got to touch back on. I forgot where I was going with it pertains to what we're speaking on. But again, Rachel Madcow saying that you know the danger is with Trump being reelected is that him and the MAGA Republicans want to change the government we have, right? And that's obviously not the case. This is the usual projection. These are the people trying to change the government we have. You know what I
Right.
mean? From trying to put term limits and ethics codes on the Supreme Court, an equal branch of government, to fucking trying to do away with the Electoral College, to trying to get political opponents removed from ballots, to trying to undo fucking the Democratic primary process of their own party. Like, I mean, these are the people that are trying to undo everything that's been for the past 248 fucking years, man.
Right. As Kamala would say, being unburdened or doing or progressing to what we can be by unburdened by what has been. Something like
Right.
that. Some
Yeah,
stupid shit like that.
that's her crowning fucking verbiage. I got a
Right.
video where it's repeated, you know, just you know, ad nauseum, dude, just so many times and so
Right.
many, you know, every time it's a different outfit, everything, dude, and it always ends with the.
Right. Fucking ridiculous. You know, Kamala's, man. But yeah, dude, that photo though, the left is freaking out about that photo. Again, that's probably one of the most iconic photos in American history at this
Yep.
point.
Yep.
You know, like easily.
Yeah.
And
Your
yeah, they're
grandkids will be seeing that photo, man.
they're big mad about that photo. You know, like to the point where they made Time magazine take it off of the cover and replace it instead with an empty field where you know the aftermath of the shooting, right? Because of course that's more important is the you know the desolate looking rally, not the glorious Donald Trump fucking raising his fist with the fucking blood trickling down his face, the flag flying in the background, a fucking bald eagle dropping a Budweiser into his hand. Like
Right.
that's yeah, I guess not Budweiser anymore. I forgot. Yeah, they went woke, but
Yeah.
something fucking good in American fucking
And they're owned by a French company. It's not even in America
yeah,
here anymore.
yeah.
Fuck them.
Right, fuck off of them. But you know, the most iconic photo in American history, and yeah, they wanted to take it off. Keep in mind, Hitler has been on the cover of Time magazine
Twice.
right.
Yep, man of the year, man. Yeah.
Yep,
And just
yep,
so everyone knows, you know, JFK, right? The celebrated president that was fucking assassinated. He was anti-communist, right? We know that, right? I mean, there's several times we almost went to war with Russia during his presidency, but he was pro-Nazi.
Yeah.
And bum.
Now we know where we get it from. Yeah. So yeah, fucking, you know, the media they're shitting their pants. There's also, I mean, a lot of the leftist celebrities, right? So a lot of people, the Democrats are learning for the very first time ever that, you know, sometimes there are, you know, consequences to your words. Like when you say, you know, things like, oh, next time, don't miss, things like that. That's generally kind of implying that you're, you know, hoping that somebody else is going to do this again, which again, as we already kind of said, was the general kind of reason that people you know, most likely why this, you know, kid most likely took a shot at him anyway is because of the fact that all the rhetoric, all the, you know, he's a Nazi, all the, you know, fucking, whoa, when's the last time an actor assassinated a president? You know,
Thought an
you know,
awful lot about blowing up the White House. And fuck,
right,
where's
fucking,
John Wilkes
I
Booth
will
when you
take
need him?
him out tonight, you know,
Right.
fucking all of the fucking, you know, lining up fucking you know, putting Donald Trump in the bullseye from the Joe Biden administration, you know, from the Joe Biden Twitter account, you know, all of the different rhetoric and shit, down to, you know, fucking Alex
Snoop
Soros,
Dogg shooting him. Fucking yeah, Alex Soros. Hell yeah.
right?
Prime example.
Down to the point where he pretty much says $47. See, anybody that can understand the fucking subliminal shit, 47 money in my hand. See this bullet? That's a bullet hole.
Through
Like
the glass.
it's not it's not even fucking like coded at all. Like that's pretty obvious, you know. You know, anybody that's, you know, watching any sort of mystery or can figure that one out pretty quickly. But yeah, so all of that has led to this, and dude, it's I don't even know how to describe it, man. Just
And that
again,
that web gets slightly deeper with the Alex Soros. I don't know if everyone knows, but that guy just married fucking Huma Abedin, which is fucking Hillary Clinton's fucking right hand, man. And the ex bitch of the baby raping fucking Wiener, dude. Old Rep Wiener from New York, bro.
oh yeah,
Yeah, the circle just keeps getting larger, Bobby.
right. Fucking the seventh circle of hell, man.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, but yeah, fucking what was it? Jack Black and Kyle Gass. Fucking
Ah, fuck.
Tenacious
Get
D.
deported from Australia.
Right. So I mean, again, like I said, it's all political fucking banter and all this and that type shit, fucking hate speech. There's no such thing as that. But when you're actually making calls for fucking somebody to go take this person out, you know that's a step beyond. That's
Right.
obvious, and so the people basically saying, oh, hopefully no, they don't miss next time. That's really getting a lot of these people shut down. And again, it's a lot of the people that are still on the left at this point are fucking loonies. Like they are the people that are outright fucking insane. Like they're the people that are not all there in their fucking mind. They're the people with, what is it, Trump anxiety disorder. That's the new term for Trump derangement syndrome, or the actual
The
fucking
clinical.
yeah, the clinical fucking term for Trump derangement syndrome. It's a real fucking thing now.
Yeah.
We've known about it for years now, but yes, it's now a clinically recognized fucking mental disability or mental ailment or whatever.
It goes hand in hand with climate anxiety. They're just fucking lunatics, and they need pharmaceuticals constantly. You know what I'm saying? Can't
Right.
cope without them. That's when you see these videos floating around the inner zones with these blue hair fucks melting down and crying and shit. That's because they don't got their meds, Bobby.
Yeah. Yeah, fucking Generation RX, man. Fucking
Yeah.
you don't need no fucking MK Ultra. You don't need to fucking target people. You just get the whole fucking population out of their fucking mind.
Yeah.
Brainwash all of them.
It's become like a social fucking plus to be like, I'm disabled. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? And,
It
and the
really
more,
has.
yeah, and the more ludicrous and mental based fucking disorder it is, like the more you're supported, celebrated. You're so strong, and braces.
Right. Don't worry. The world just needs to bend itself to be able to accept you. There's nothing wrong with you. Something wrong with the world. I'm pretty sure it's actually the opposite. I'm pretty sure the world's just fine. You're fucked up. Right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
even here they tend to think of themselves as the majority, and that's the furthest from the truth. I mean, but beside the opposite paradigm, I mean, you have the in betweens that either don't give a fuck or are sick with it or don't want to be involved, or you know what I mean, or completely oblivious.
Yep. And again, I mean, there are those people there. I mean, as they say, I don't remember what it was, Dark Knight, something like that. There really are those people that just want to watch the world burn.
Right? Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. There's a lot of those on the left. That's pretty much
The cheerful nihilist.
that's what an actual activist on the left actually, believes.
The accelerationists and shit, dude.
Right. Yeah. So let's talk hypothetically here, man. What would have happened? What do you think would be going on in the country today if the bullet had just been quarter inch to the right?
Good possibility it would have been that bloodbath that the left's so fucking horrified of, and I'm not talking about economics this time. You know what I'm saying? And that's not any, that's not a, a call to. That's not, I'm not advocating for, any kind of violence in any way, shape, or form. All right, okay, the juices tubes, but obvious. I mean, it's a powder keg, man, and we're one major event away from conflict. It feels like, I mean, it's almost like a collective, inhale, and it's like waiting for something to happen for the exhale, man.
Yeah.
Pressure building up for sure, and I just like we were just saying, it's only going to get worse as far as where we're at now, but we won't get anywhere near what I believe it would have been if that would have been the case. That's my opinion on it.
I don't know. So as I had mentioned in my other fucking rant that I went on the other day when I didn't do my homework, I I think Donald Trump would have been much more valuable to the establishment and really kind of to the country as a dead man, because of the fact that, of course, he would become a martyr, and basically America would be remade in his image, in his vision. Basically, all the stuff that Trump said, we'd be like, fuck, man, like he was right all along. Everybody would have this collective sigh of like, fuck, we should have listened to him. And meanwhile, all of the people that he would have, the swamp that he would have gone in and drained, would still be the ones in power, but they would just be implementing his Donald Trump's ideas and his policies and basically all of the stuff that the American people actually want. Just they're so ideologically locked in anything that Trump says bad. Trump says inflation's bad, we say inflation's good. Trump says immigration is bad, we let 8 fucking million people run over the board. Like they're so ideologically locked in basically anything that's opposite Trump. I think that was the out that they were looking for, so that way they could maintain their power. The deep state establishment can maintain their power and grip on this government, and the people are none the wiser. The people the people get a new symbol of unity in America. I think that was basically their plan here was, like I said, just take him out if I can make a martyr out of him. And at the same time too, I mean, there is the reality that he is just a regular guy. He's a good guy. He's a great guy. I'll say that he's a, I'd definitely probably say he is the best among us in Americans, yeah, he's just a regular guy. And of course, again, it's going to be another 4 years of his own party working against him, and we have to fucking try and seek out all these different rhinos, and he's going to be fighting impeachments and all this and other all this and that other shit, meanwhile trying to juggle again all the stuff that he has to deal with economically, geopolitically.
But remember, he doesn't have to worry about shit. He doesn't got to worry about re-election, and the Supreme Court just gave him immunity for official acts. I mean, it was already there, but they just reiterated it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. But I mean, either way, a lot of the, just like any president, he's not going to be able to get everything done that he's promising.
Excuse me.
Yeah, you're good. But he's not going to be able to get everything done that he's promising, which is normal. Nobody's actually expecting him to, but of course the left is going to make fucking mincemeat out of it. They're going to fucking every single turn that he makes, he's going to be fucking, see, he's Hitler. See, he's Hitler. He's trying to fucking lock people in cages. And so basically, instead of getting
drink water,
right. But so instead of getting a new martyr, symbol for America, we're just going to get another. Right, we're going to get another 4 years of the vilification of Donald J. Trump again. Yeah.
I mean, I feel you on that tip. I fully see that happening as well, and I believe that it was their plan to take him out. I believe that if whether the situation was allowed to happen or it was a cooperation, the dude wasn't supposed to miss. You know what I'm saying? I mean, obviously, right? And so I definitely agree with you that was the plan. You know what I'm saying? But I don't know if they could have ever brought themselves to try to even as a public show to hold him in some type of adoration or
Well, they wouldn't have even had to. All they would have had to say is, we understand it went too far. We should never act like this again. Let's all be adults now. And
right, the COVID immunity type of thing.
Yeah,
right.
yeah. You already know they already had their speeches fucking written up.
Oh yeah,
They already had their shit ready to go. Dude, that's one thing that I've been thinking of, man. Could you imagine being a fucking Democrat watching that video, like as soon as it happened, just like. I don't even know what they would be going through their head, dude. Like they'd probably be pretty fucking pissed, but at the same time they'd know that they're not allowed to fucking be pissed, because that make you a bad person, right? But yeah, dude, I'm pretty sure
they were pissed though.
He's melting
you've
down.
seen, how could you miss was trending on X, And
Yep.
then you go on like Libs of TikTok, and they've gotten plethora of people fired already for their
Hmm.
comments about wishing death on the president. Some of which were
Right.
city officials and shit like that, teachers. You know what I'm saying? Head of different education systems and shit. But sick fucks, sick
Right.
fucks. Because I mean, dude, I can't stand Joe Biden. I've never liked the dude. You know what I mean? It's not just right now why he's president. I mean, even when he was a senator, he's a racist douche. You know what I'm saying? Cocky fuck, man. That was just moronic. You know what I mean? He was smug and ignorance. And I wouldn't want to see the dude get shot in front of his family and shit. You know what I
No.
mean? That's
Right.
even if you're spouting like, and that's why it's kind of hypocritical, but I'm not the media, right? I don't have this huge platform. I'm not speaking to a million people. But even in jest, if you're, take that dude out. You really don't want to see someone get shot in front of their fucking family.
Right.
Whereas the left, I believe they do, and it's a historical trend that they commit fucking atrocious acts when they're in power. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So there's nothing that would give you a sign that it's any different with the fucking people we're sharing this country with right now. I mean,
Yep.
down to the fact that they have a statue of fucking Lenin in Washington. Like, you know what I mean? As they tear down statues of fucking, GW and Franklin and shit,
You're right. Yeah. Yeah. It is kind of interesting though, just because this is really the first time that they've actually had to be responsible for the words out of their own mouths, or the words
Yeah,
that they
and
fucking post on social media. And the smart ones, the ones that have any sort of sense in their fucking brain, know that anybody that's cheering this on is going to be viewed as evil, or is going to be that's going to be viewed as that's outright atrocious. You can't be sharing stuff like that. And as we saw, that was the case. That is what ended up happening. And so
yeah,
basically
but
the lefties that had any sort of sense basically came out and just give the standard like, oh, glad he's okay, we need to tone it down, like,
right. But you hate to say it, but the only one that acknowledged their own culpability to an extent was Joe Biden.
yeah.
I mean, yeah, he said it was a mistake and it was wrong for me to say put bullseye on Trump. You know what I'm
Right,
saying?
but
I mean, don't get me wrong. He tried to flake out of it afterwards with well, I didn't say crosshairs. You know what
right,
I'm saying? But he did say it was wrong for me to say that, man.
right,
You know what I
right,
mean?
yeah.
Whereas none of the other leftist talking heads have you heard anything even remotely like
Right. He's like, yeah, no, I'm sorry. It was really wrong for me to say, put a bullseye on him. I shouldn't be talking about Nazis and fascists and fucking,
that. Right.
racist
Right.
bigots and stuff like
Right.
that. I really
Right.
shouldn't be talking about them.
Yeah. I mean, yeah,
He
like I said,
apologized
he
for that, but
flaked
like
out
it's
afterwards. But I
right.
mean, he's the only one that you've heard acknowledge their own culpability, man.
Yeah. But then he also tried to turn it back on. Like Republicans are just as responsible too. Like,
Right.
no, they're not.
But again, he has like his brain is broken. She don't do work,
Right.
and so he's got this rhetoric that has been practiced and beaten to his brain so many times, and that's all he has. So that's why he reverts to it. That's his only arsenal at this point.
Right. That and well, anyway.
And I like in the Lester Holt interview when he says, so what would happen if you had an episode similar to the previous debate? And he said, well, what happened? Like, what the fuck did you just say, man? But of
The
course,
hell is
Lester Holt left his shill. He just went along with it like he understood, and
right.
repeated it like, yeah, what would happen? You know what I
Right.
mean?
Oh, emperor wears no clothes and shit.
Yeah.
It's a great retort, sir. Excellent.
Yeah, that's exactly it. You had the little weak wrist Harry Sisson fucking immediately all over the inner zones. Biden just gave the greatest fucking interview of all times. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Right. Shit. Speaking of that fucking guy, man, just shit, just a couple of days before, he was talking about fucking, oh, so Joe Biden could order a team to go and assassinate Donald Trump, like
Yeah.
just days before it fucking happened, dude. So I mean,
Yeah. And then you seen immediately fucking the United Spot put out the greatest meme of the Harry Sisson SEAL Team 6. And it's pretty classic shit, man. You know what I mean? It's like Dr. Jill's Biden, AOC, fucking booty judge. You know what I mean? And they're all like, nerded out and fucking, it's hilarious, man.
Right.
AOC's got her helmet on and shit, you know.
Yeah, I'll jump to a couple of meme videos before we head out in a minute, but I just want to touch on one more thing, within the Trump assassination thing that's been really kind of floating around. Unless you want to add anything as well too to it before we start wrapping up. But the other thing that everyone's been pointing out is divine intervention. And not in a like, oh shit, do you see how that, like, no, like people, like seriously, like people are seriously saying that we've witnessed a miracle, that that the hand of God came down and made sure that Trump turned his head, or something like that. It's been something that's been actually floating around quite a bit over the last week, and a lot of people, like I said, the feel that just flowed through this country when those shots were taken. I mean, most people can't deny. You don't even have to even be religious to say that was something incredible. That was something once, I don't know, that's not even something that happens in human history. Like, he fucking nicked the top of his ear, like that's insane. And then he got up and fucking said fight. Like, that's fucking insane. The crowd did not fucking move. They stood still. They struck at the fucking master, and the sheep did not scatter. Like, there's some fucking insane shit. And so, I mean, there's a lot of people that have been floating out that this could be some sort of fucking divine intervention. What's your thoughts on that whole thing, man?
I mean, I think, it's just a extraordinary, circumstance. I definitely don't want to say, it was divine intervention, but you can bet in Trump's own mind it was. And if he didn't believe in God before, I'm sure he does at this point. And of course, the left is immediately fucking turning that against them and is using it as some kind of fucking meme. They think they're witty. It's absolute fucking, bullshit. But they, at the RNC, like I said, they were given a prayer, and, a priest standing up there, praying with the crowd. And Trump had his eyes closed during the prayer, and they're like, see, he can't even stay awake during his fucking own, and not, you know what I mean? His own nomination. I mean, just ridiculous bullshit. But I believe that that's probably sincere. I mean, to me, he seemed different. You know what I'm saying? I mean, really, like a
How
different,
could you not?
just a different energy about him. And you've seen him with his grandkids, during the majority of the RNC there, and it seemed like he, just the love and appreciation to still fucking be here was pretty obvious on the man. And I can't think that it would be easy to refrain from thinking, fucking, I'm here for a reason. God fucking saved me, or God has me here still because I'm not done. Something to that effect. You know what I mean?
Right. Yep. Yeah, definitely some, like I said, something else, man. That was a incredible moment in human history, But
it'd be talked about fucking for many years, I'm sure.
Oh yeah, and again, it has unified the country in a big way. A lot of the people, like I said, a lot of the people that are still undecided at this point are just ideologically fucking dead. They're just fucking whatever, vote blue no matter who. Either that, or they're the people that just want to burn shit down.
I love the inflection in that. That was great, dude. Oh boy, that was fucking great.
For real, dude. Like, that's how, like, even a lot of people that I've even talked to, like, in recent months and stuff like that have been lifelong, or since the debate and stuff like that have been fucking, they voted for Biden and shit like that. They planned on voting for him again. Like, even there at this point, like, I can't do it, man. I can't. I can't vote for that guy. Like, fuck. Like,
it's hard to even get through more than a 30-second clip of the guy, man. It really is. Because not only is it, but then it's just everything that comes out is just fucking stupid bullshit.
Nonsensical, man.
Yeah.
Absolutely fucking nonsense.
What happened?
Right. Either nonsense or just repeating fucking, outright debunked by both fucking sides of the media, fucking narratives and shit, Yeah.
That's his favorite. Find people on both sides. That's why I ran for president. You know what I mean?
Right. Hey, dude, nobody's fucking saying that anymore, man. That's fucking old news, bro.
Right. Even Snopes fucking debunked it, man.
Right. But let's see. And I actually haven't really checked out this full one, but I think it's a Matrix style video.
Oh yeah, the fucking AI is rough on it, buddy.
What was the other meme that you were telling me about, or the other like meme video?
It wasn't a video; it was just a still, like a real meme, dude. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's the United Spot. You know, they're up there with the Dilly meme team as far as creative classic shit. Like he's wearing fucking Trump combat boots and shit.
Creepy. Fucking Obama and Zuckerberg. This fucking animation's horrible.
Right.
It's fucking creepy. I'm gonna have nightmares about that shit, man.
Right? Like, hey, I must be stopped, man.
Right. I mean,
You see this like with the Zuckerberg. I don't know if you've seen. He just did this interview where he was on there, basically like, you know, I did bad things before this, but I won't do it again. And Trump's iconic. He was like, that was one of the greatest
Please
things
don't lock
I've
me
ever
up,
seen.
Trump.
Right. Yeah, and they also took Meta took all restrictions off Trump accounts too. So you know,
Yeah.
he's
Like
really
Trump
trying.
could ever
They
go back
know.
there.
I
Right.
mean, he's actually on Instagram, man.
Dude, Trump?
Yeah.
Like posting and shit?
Yeah, real Donald
All
Trump,
right.
man. I mean, it's not really like, I'm sure it's not really him posting on there. I'm sure he's contractually bound to fucking truth, but it says real Donald Trump and it has a check mark and fucking, you know what I mean? But
Yeah. Shit, fuck yeah. Let me see. All right, let's check out some of these.
dude, they're great. They make some fucking hilarious shit, man.
You know, when you get older, like, things get taken from you. I mean, that's part of life. But you only learn that when you start losing stuff. You find out life's this game of inches. The margin for error is so small. I mean, 1/2 a step too late or too early, and you don't quite make it. 1/2 second too slow, too fast, you don't quite catch it. The inches we need are everywhere around us. They're in every break of the game, every minute, every second. On this team, we fight for that inch. On this team, we tear ourselves and everyone else around us to pieces for that inch. We claw with a fingernail.
Is this a campaign video?
Yeah, if you go down there, you'll see a comedy.
And everybody can blame him for everything. Yeah, I'm gonna give Trump a call. I'm gonna give him his job back, and then everybody can blame him for everything, just like they used to. Oh, those were the good old days. Yeah, I miss those days. Now everybody's blaming us. No, they blaming you. Don't try to pin this on me. All right. Hey, I'm gonna call Trump now. Be quiet. This is Trump. Who's this? Well, hey, Trump. This is Joe. Sleepy Joe. What do you want? Wait, I was thinking about giving you your job back. Okay, Creepy Joe. First, take a big step back and literally your own face. So how'd it go? Pretty good. Yeah, I'm gonna give Trump a call. I'm gonna give him his job back, and then everybody can blame him for.
Right? Could you imagine how the phone call went between Joe Biden and Donald Trump after the assassination attempt?
Right. Well, who is it? I think it was Trump himself that said it was short. Like, I bet it was,
Right.
man.
Right. Shit.
And I'm
Yeah,
looking at the real Donald Trump account right now on Insta, dude. 25.9 million fucking subs and 19 new posts. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Shit. Fuck yeah.
OC.
Sorry, AOC.
Oh my gosh, he like totally knows my name. Are you trying to date me?
AOC, how do you feel about Trump getting reelected?
Well, Rico,
It's actually Jake.
excuse me?
My name is Jake. You call me Rico.
I'm like a scientist. I think I know what your name is.
Well, it's Jake, not Rico.
Well, you don't have to yell at me.
I didn't yell at you.
Oh my gosh, I think I just almost died. No, police, I'm being attacked by Rico.
My name is Jake.
Look, we can either sit here and argue about your car's extended warranty, or we can talk about how much makeup I'm wearing.
AOC.
How do you know my name?
What's it like being a congresswoman?
Oh, it's awesome. I get paid to say other people's thoughts.
What do you get paid talking on Donald Trump?
Well, one time at waitress camp, Donald Trump ordered a trailer park attack.
Do you mean a terrorist attack?
Hang on. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
What's wrong?
I think I'm having a climate change.
Are you okay? Should I call an ambulance?
No, it's okay. It was just a photo op.
What would you do if you were president?
Well, I would find a way to travel to the sun.
How would you do that?
I would go at night. Duh.
Fascinating. What else?
I would find out where bread goes after you put it in the toaster.
AOC, if you were adopted, would you tell your parents?
No, that would totally hurt their feelings.
Can you spell orange?
The vegetable or the crayon?
AOC,
Yeah?
if your electricity went out, how would you watch TV?
Well, I'd use a candle.
It's 3:45.
Okay.
What time is it?
$4.35.
Can you define the word economics?
Oh my gosh, I'm like a total economist.
So I've heard.
So, like, economy is all about choices. Should I brush my teeth before breakfast, or should I invent something that's never been
AOC.
invented?
Can you spell AOC?
That's a tough one. Can you use it in a sentence?
I just did.
Okay, I'm gonna totally have to phone a friend on this one.
So does Biden have a chance against Trump?
Well, I mean, like, if you put popcorn in the microwave and press potato, it still comes out popcorn. So there's always a chance.
What is the hardest thing about being a congresswoman?
It would probably like have to be all the calls I get about my car's extended warranty.
Yeah, I get those a lot.
Oh yeah, and they like totally never tell me what crime my car committed.
Huh?
Why do they keep serving my car with warranties?
What?
My car is innocent.
So what have you been working on?
Well, I'm trying to pass a law that will require motorcycles to have seatbelts. And I'm trying to get deers free health care.
Deers?
Yeah, I'm actually trying to pass a bill right now to get more deer crossing signs put up so deers know where to cross the road safely.
I'm sorry, is that cake frosting on your face?
Yeah, I always use cake frosting.
Why?
Well, cake frosting is good for the environment because when you're done using it, you can eat it.
Okay, what are your thoughts on the border?
Come on in and vote, guys. Win this election. By the way, my name is Donald Trump.
Hell yeah, brother!
Yeah, the Donald Trump. And I gotta tell
The
you,
most electric RNC of
you
all
have what appears to
fucking
be
Republican history.
Trump-a-mania.
Well, coming from you, Trump, that means a lot, brother.
Yeah, I mean you're Donald Trump.
This is awesome. I can't wait to say Trump-a-mania in a small town.
Wow, Donald Trump digs our Trump-a-mania,
Trump-a-mania.
see, guys.
I put my pants on just like the rest of you.
One leg at a time.
Hell yeah, brother!
Except once my pants are on, I make history.
Let me tell you something, brother.
Yeah!
I won't sleep until Trump-a-mania is back in the White House where it belongs.
Yeah!
Trump-a-mania!
Yeah! All right, fellas, I'll be honest. Trump-a-mania sounds great, but I could really use a little more MAGA mania.
Brother!
Yeah!
Did you say MAGA-mania?
Yeah, I love it, but I need more MAGA mania. And Holt,
Yeah, brother!
explore the space.
You got it, brother!
I mean, really explore the space. I like what I'm hearing, guys.
I like the sound of Magamania.
Yeah.
Magamania,
Magamania!
Fellas,
This sounds
great.
great.
Being too loud, am I, brother? I don't want to complain, but I just feel like you're being way too loud, bro.
Yeah, Hulk, you're super loud. I can't even hear anything anymore.
Say something. I can't hear anything.
I can lower my
It's
voice
loud.
a little if you like, brother.
Not too much, though, Hulk. All right? I'm telling you, fellas. America wants to hear more Magamania. You know what? It's fine, right? Donald Trump wants more Magamania. Then let's give it to him! Guess what? I got a fever. And the only prescription is more Magamania.
Great shit.
Good old
And them, the
Magamania.
Dilly meme team, man. Those are some of the best on the inner zones for sure.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, I subscribed to the Daily Meme team actually just recently. But all right, man. Anything else you want to throw in before we get up out of here?
There's no such thing as a red wave, regardless of how fucking decrepit Joe Biden seems and fucking the shoe-in it may be. Get your fucking lazy asses out there and vote, man. If the old
Right.
Don can take one to the ear for you, the least you can do is fucking vote. And don't think, he's a billionaire. He doesn't care. He doesn't care about you personally. He cares about America, man. And that's in your fucking better self-interest. And, it's pretty obvious because he could be shitting on a gold toilet and playing on a golf course forever, until the end of his life instead of fucking running around getting shot at and being called fucking orange hattlers. So, get out there and vote, man. Some of the, I don't want to say the whole, but a large portion of the West really fucking is going to, depend on what happens right now.
Hell yeah. And if you know anybody that doesn't normally vote, you get them to register and then you tell them they just have to sign their name on it for you. All right. That's all they need to do.
If you really want to learn how to help out with voting and shit, man, follow and hit up Scott Pressler, X, Instagram. The guy has registered thousands of people in several states in this cycle, and has a team doing the same shit, and will help you in any way he can. And out here, we just got it passed to where illegals now, their votes will not count here in Arizona. So, we got that going for us.
Yeah, that's been a quite a big worry out here for quite some time. But yeah, good to see that shit's getting passed, man. Yeah, make sure you guys get out there, vote. Make sure you guys like, subscribe, share this video out with your friends. Let us know what you guys think in the comment section. We appreciate you guys stopping by. And as always, bug off.
Smell you later.